So, Nathaniel, there's a lot of Mario enemies out there. I kind of just want to pose some questions to you in terms of which enemies do we think are the most powerful, best enemies in Mario canonically, but then also which ones could we kick the asses of theoretically if they existed in the real world. Now, I will hold a stipulation here. Most of these Mario enemies, technically in the real world, if we play by the rules of how they operate in Mario, they would kill us in one hit by just touching us.
Yeah.
So let's remove that. Let's just talk about their abilities outside of the fact that if we run into them, we die. Because that would imply that they're all poisonous in some way. So, so we're going to be ranking these enemies in two different ways. Canonically, power rankings. Which do we think are the most powerful, hardest enemies to defeat? I don't care. And then which ones in the real world do you think we could take on? Firstly, I'm just going to go a little random here. We got Bitty Buds.
Ooh, Bitty Buds. Okay.
Now, Bitty Buds were introduced in Mario 3D Land. They are very much kind of a Goomba adjacent enemy. Nothing that crazy. I think the main thing that kind of sets them apart from Goombas is the fact that they run in packs.
Yes, they do like to do that, and they do also. Are we counting the flying versions, or is this just the regular one?
This is just a Bitty Bud.
Okay, well then they really suck compared to the flying ones.
I mean, they're cute. I think they're cute enemies.
They are cute.
There's a different. Yeah. There's definitely a variant where the Goombas look mean. The Bitty Buds are kind of friendly looking. They just look like fun little guys.
They look kind of like cuddly.
With that being said, I think canonically, they pose a threat in the fact that they can hurt you.
I mean, technically all of these can hurt you.
Yeah, sure. F tier. Bitty Buds F tier.
Yeah, this is an F.
In real life, could you kick their ass?
Okay, so here's the thing. Are they scaled the same in real life, like with are we basically the size of Mario and they're scaled the same?
Yeah, it's just if they run into you, they won't kill you.
Okay. I think we could probably kick their ass, honestly.
I think they're pretty harmless enemies, all things considered. They don't really do much.
If there was one, like, in my backyard or something, I could just take a baseball bat and just whack the crap out of it, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be much of a problem, honestly.
They don't really have any attacks. That's the thing. They don't have any
there.
attacks, so.
They're just existing.
I could beat their ass. All right, how about a bully? Bully from Mario 64.
A bully. Still not that strong. They can't jump or anything.
They don't kill you themselves.
No, not necessarily. But they can knock you back. They can stun you, which I guess all the enemies technically stun you, but this one can really stop you in your place.
I mean, the only time a bully is really all that threatening is when they're in a pack. And also, it depends on your environment. A normal bully, let's say if a bully was in Bob-ombs Battlefield, they wouldn't, who cares?
Right,
There's nothing they're going to push you into.
Are these the Mario 64 versions or the 3D World? Because the 3D World ones are very different because of how big they are.
It's kind of a hodgepodge. I mean, you can include them all in your ranking, kind of do a little average.
Maybe this is like a C or B. I think for their size, they're not necessarily dangerous.
They're dangerous in the context of where they are.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the interesting thing is, compared to a lot of other Mario enemies, you know what's strange? I think in some cases, the Koopas are more of a threat to you.
Well, yeah, the shells are a lot faster. I mean, they aren't necessarily going to hit you, but they might.
And I know we kind of avoid the fact that, if you touch them, they're poisonous, but that's not the case with the bully. You can touch them. So, I think they belong in C tier, canonically.
C is fine. Yeah, C works.
Now, in real life, could you kick their ass?
Can I use a weapon against them, or is it just like my body and that's it?
Don't sell yourself short. I think you could beat their ass.
Maybe.
They're not gonna, you just push them. They're just gonna push you back.
That's true.
They have the exact same ability as you do.
If they're the small versions, I could definitely kick their ass. But if they're the big ones, like in 3D World, I don't know, I might get squished. Potentially.
Yeah, but think about who takes on the bullies in 3D World.
That's true.
Toad.
That's true.
I mean, there's a lot of playable characters in 3D World. We can look at Mario all we want and be like, oh wow, I could never amount to Mario with his strength and agility and all of that. Whatever. Yeah. But I mean, Toad's just fast. Other than that, he's just a short little shrimp.
Just a little mushroom.
Yeah. So I think if Toad can do it, it's kind of
we probably can too. I say we put it in D tier, though, because it's going to take some effort to kick its ass. We can't just, casually step on it. We have to actually push it or actually give a good kick to like knock it down.
I think that's fair. Now,
Yeah.
by comparison, what do you think about the Angry Sun?
Oh, Jesus.
I think the Angry Sun is kind of up there on both areas.
I'm going to say probably an A tier, canonically, just because you don't see it very often, and it's also fairly small. Like, you can avoid it in-game.
You can, but it takes you by surprise.
It does take you by surprise. But if you're careful, you can avoid it, and it's not a super big obstacle.
Yeah. I think this is S tier in real life.
Yeah, this is the most dangerous enemy by far. Yeah, try to fight a sun. Good luck. Good luck. That's all I have to say.
Try to fight a sun, bitch. All right. Now we're moving on to ghosts. Boos.
Ooh, the boos. Okay.
Where does the boo go?
It's like a D, canonically.
I would honestly put it higher than the bully.
Really?
Boos can get kind of tricky. They can hurt you, firstly. And I think when there is a couple of them at the same time, it can be a little tricky to maneuver because, of course, they move when your back is turned to them. And if you have a couple, you have one in front of you and one in the back of you, it can get a little tricky sometimes, In some cases, like they can go invisible. And the stages they usually are in are some of the trickiest ones in their respective Mario games.
I guess I was going to say it shouldn't be that high up, but also there are some games where you literally can't touch them or, kill them. So, yeah. I could see a B or a C tier, but I could definitely see a B just because I don't think you can kill them in Mario 3. They're just, obstacles, and that's it. I think for that reason, a B tier is fine. Yeah, that makes sense.
But then in real life, I don't really think there's much you can do to kick their ass. It's a ghost.
This might be an S tier, honestly.
Demons.
What are we going to do? Yeah, exactly. If this is actually a real thing that exists, how are we going to fight it?
There's too much bullshit you got to go through, man. Exorcisms. I don't know.
I guess you could, if we had a flashlight, we could maybe zap, because there's I think a couple of games where, a couple of games you just use light to get rid of it, so if that still applies in real life, then maybe it wouldn't be that hard to get rid of, but then there's the fact that it can just kind of hide anywhere, and it can attack you at any time it wants.
Yeah, they only move when they're not looking at them, which I think in real life is kind of creepy.
Yeah, no kidding.
The whole thing is okay, light is what kills them in some games.
In some games, you just can't hurt them at all.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, canonically, light kills them.
Yeah.
Because in the games that you can kill them, you kill them with light. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of tricky. They don't really have any actual attacks other than touching you, which might kind of put it in the ballpark, like I said, of it doesn't really count.
How is it even going to touch you? In real life, a ghost is not going to touch you. It could scare you, I guess.
I think we should clarify some things because, I think there's a major difference between touching and attack.
Fair.
Because
the
angry sun touches you, but I consider that an attack. It does a little circular motion, and then it swoops down. That's an attack.
Well, the sun is also thousands and thousands of degrees.
So do we consider the boo to be basically a funny moving Goomba at that point, or is it genuinely attacking you?
Maybe in that case, the boo's way too high. If it touches us, is it really going to hurt? We're not even going to feel it.
Yeah, but ghosts, scary, possession.
Yeah, but we could literally kick its ass by turning on the lights.
Right. So I think we're bringing that down to F tier, baby.
Yeah.
We don't even have to touch this thing.
No, exactly.
Next up, we might as well go on the ghost. We're on the ghost train already. Peepas.
This is gonna be fairly similar.
They're pretty much stagnant boos. They don't follow you like boos do.
Yeah, these also tend to travel in groups and they follow patterns. They'll go in lines. Yeah. Stuff like that.
I just like talking about it like actual animals. They travel in packs. They're pretty much stagnant boos, which puts them, I think, in D tier canonically.
Yeah, they're not as much of a threat because you can see them.
But that brings it to real life.
This is still an F tier.
I think a Peepa needs to be an F tier, but then possibly a boo goes to D tier.
What?
Because the boo follows you.
It's not deadly. It's not deadly
but
at
we can't
all.
kill it except if we have light. And the same with... Okay. You need light with you. That is an external thing. A bully you can take on with your own two mitts.
True, yeah.
You can push the bully. You can't push the boo.
Yeah, but you can just turn on a light and then it's dead.
But you don't. What if you're in an area without that?
Everyone has phones on them. You turn on the flashlight on your phone, and there you go. The boo's dead.
Jesus, this is like the high school thing of like, oh, you're not gonna.
You need to learn algebra.
You're never gonna have a calculator on you. Well, you got your phone, and the same with a boo.
This is
Oh,
real
you gotta have
life,
your
right?
phone on you.
In real life, I'm gonna have my
Whatever.
phone on me.
Is your phone flashlight really that powerful enough, though? Is it really powerful enough to kill a boo? Because the
pretty
flashlight
strong.
power in 3D World, that's not that powerful.
It's strong enough to kill the ghost, though.
To be fair, let's think about Luigi's Mansion. Vacuums.
That's true. You could just vacuum up the ghost as well.
Is the poltergust really that special, or is it just a damn vacuum?
I'd say the original is just a vacuum, but like the Luigi's Mansion 3 one where you can like whack ghosts around, I feel like that one's kind of interesting. And it has a strobe bulb on it on top of that to zap the ghosts.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so boos are weak against fucking light and wind.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
Yeah, sure. Put them in F. I don't think Peepas ever appeared in Luigi's Mansion 3. Or
They did
2,
not.
Right?
No.
That would be kind of a fun little Mario enemy to appear in there if they bring Peepas into Luigi's Mansion eventually.
No, we might see it.
I know if that happens, you know, you're going to see a lot of reaction videos online go, holy shit,
Peepas.
Peepas here? What? I know. When they reveal a Luigi's Mansion game, I'm going to watch your reaction. If a Peepa's in there, I know you're going to say that.
I'll be so excited. Whoa, a Peepa.
Boos and Peepas in F tier. You know what? Might as well get some of these out of the way. I got some Goomba variants here, all right? We
Okay.
got a couple options here.
Oh, wow. You got the whole squad out here.
Not the entire one. I definitely chose against doing...
You don't have those weird circle-y ones from like Mario 3 and New Super Mario Bros. U, but...
I think that's what this is. Do we want to start with Galoombas?
Oh, yeah, you know what? Sure.
Galoombas were originally just how Goombas looked in Mario World. They were just different in that game for some reason.
Yeah.
And then in 3D World, they changed the name to Galoombas, so they are a different race entirely. Galoombas are different because you can't just kill them by jumping on them. They just turn into basically kind of like Koopa shells, but not like, they don't like fly around like Koopa shells. They just kind of fall on their head or something.
I mean, I would still say it's an F tier. Like, you just step on them one time, and then you're basically done fighting it.
I would put them potentially in D tier because
D
that
tier.
alone makes them a little trickier than a Bitty Bud.
I
'Cause
guess
Bitty
that's
Bud's just
true.
kill in one go.
I guess that's a good
Galoombas
point, sure.
require
Yeah.
more effort and thought.
Slightly more effort, yes. I think
Yeah.
D minus. We'll keep it in D minus.
What about in real life?
Real life? I mean, probably an F or a D tier still.
You can push them around and stuff, but they're not. They're gonna take longer to genuinely kill.
Let's say you just step on it, and then when it's on its bed, or on its head, you just pick it up and then like throw it in the trash can, and then that's it.
I think Galoombas, you kick them, and then eventually they get back up, right?
If you leave them alone long enough, yeah.
So, I mean, if you put them in the trash can, then it's going to be like a raccoon in there. It's going to be just
Fair
like
enough.
scrounging around, eating crap, and then the neighbors are going to complain. So, yeah, you could dispose of them, but like it would almost be like, I don't know, you'd almost have to probably take them to like a specialist or something to
Take
like
them to
put
a
them
specialist.
down. I think I'd put them in D.
D tier is probably fair. Yeah, they would be a little bit pesty.
I think it'd be like a bully. They're just more annoying to take care of.
If you got like an AR-15 and just pumped it with lead, then I don't
Yeah.
think it would get back up. But then you could say every enemy's easy, so that's kind of cheating.
Well, I don't think the bully would go to... I think
Maybe not the bully, but a lot of these enemies would.
if you shot a bully with an AR-15, would that kill it, or would that just keep pushing it?
It would probably just push it. You would need to use something way
Yeah.
stronger, like a nuclear bomb or something like that, to kill it. Can it survive nuclear warfare?
Could a bully survive a nuke?
Yeah.
It would probably like fling it like the Indiana Jones fridge or something, you know?
What a specific example.
That's the only thing I could think of. Like, yeah. I feel like the armor it has is pretty strong. That's what
It
makes it, then you
seems
can't
like
really
it.
damage it. The only time you can damage it,
It does die
is
in
by
lava.
pushing him into lava.
Yeah. I think a nuclear bomb is stronger than lava, but
Well, then I feel like that makes it so then the bully is kind of just like, it's a kind of a pest that you can't get rid of unless you're in a very specific situation, which puts him in the Galoomba territory.
similar to that.
Which
yeah.
is just like, it's going to be hard for them to kill you. However, you can get rid of them you can get rid of them, but you need to You need to like lure them into like a toxic waste dump or something. So you could do it, but I don't know.
It would just take some effort. Yeah.
All right, well, how about a sting bee?
Ooh, okay. Well, canonically, they're...
At that point, they're just big-ass bees. Pretty much just wasps.
They don't... Well, the thing is, they don't fly that quickly. Like, I would say they're a little more threatening than, like, a typical Goomba or Koopa, but not by much. Like, I could see maybe this is, like, a high D or a low C tier.
They do follow you.
They do follow you around. Yeah, but, like, again, they're not
when they see you,
fast.
then they follow you. Yeah.
Maybe for that reason we throw it in, like, a C tier, because they are a little bit more threatening, but not by much.
I think in real life, this would be bad.
If this is, like, a wasp or a yellow hornet or something, then, yeah, this is, like, a A or B tier.
You know what? I just realized a sting bee is like a bee where the face is on its ass. Because the stinger is its nose.
Oh my god!
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't notice that either. That's really funny.
It's crazy how normalized a lot of these Mario enemy designs are to me, because I've always just found sting bees to be like, oh, they're just fucking bees. Nah, it's a bee with the stinger as the nose. All right. Never even thought of that. I don't even know why. Yeah, big ass bee. To be fair, I mean, like, are you allergic to bees? I'm not.
I'm not allergic to bees, no.
But bees hurt, man. I don't like getting stung.
Yeah, it's painful. They are easy to get rid of, though. Even, like, the dangerous ones, you can just use a bug spray and it kills them instantly.
That is true, but these are pretty damn big compared to Mario.
That's true. These are huge bees.
It would almost be like a German Shepherd size, you know?
Yeah.
German Shepherd size bee.
And it can fly. Maybe this is like an A tier, the more I think about it. This is pretty dangerous.
I think you can get rid of him pretty swiftly. I mean, they go down just like a Goomba. You know, you just stomp on them.
I think I would need, like, a chainsaw or some, like, long, like, electric motorized weapon to probably take this thing out safely. I would not want to, like, fight it with my hands or try to step on it. Because if you miss stepping on it, you're going to get stung and you might die just because of how big the stinger is and how much poison there would probably be inside of it.
It's a big stinger. Yeah. Oh, man. What do you think this is like in real life? Because the stinger, you know, a bee stinger, you know, when it stings you, then it's just like stinger ejects out and the bee dies. Do you think sting bee is the same way? I don't know if it's the same way, because in Mario games, they don't die after hitting you.
Yeah, they're like wasps where they can just sting for fun, just like the sting bee.
Yeah.
That probably doesn't make these honeybees. These are not friendly. These are definitely the dangerous bees.
Dangerous bees. I think I would put them in B tier, mainly because they can go down much like a Goomba, you know, so it's just like, I think you could literally just, with a bat, I think anything that goes down like a Goomba, you can just with a bat, you know?
There's a sense of danger still if you somehow miss.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to like a person. Like, yeah, you could kill a person with a bat, but you know, it's hard to, I assume.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, I assume with something this big, it will be kind of tricky. It would be trickier than, it would be easier said than done.
I mean, at least it would be big.
Big target.
Yeah, it's a big target at the very least. It wouldn't be very fast because of how big it is. Like, they move pretty slowly, so you probably would be able to kill it with a bat or something.
Or an AR-15.
Or an AR-15. Either or. Yeah, I think we put the B in B tier.
Yeah, I'll put them in B tier.
Sense.
Just because, again, even though, like, again, we're not doing, like, oh, if they touch you, you die. But that stinger will fuck you up. That brings us to regular Goombas. I think regular Goombas, probably just putting them next to Bitty Buds.
It's basically just the Bitty Bud. It just looks different. Looks more angry, I guess.
We're not going to rank these. I think we're just going to put them in a general tier. But Goombas are more threatening than a Bitty Bud. And I would also say they're more threatening in real life, too.
I'd say slightly more.
With teeth like that, do you think when they run into you, is it just them touching you? Or do you think they'd bite?
Okay, so, like, we've seen Goomba's mouths open. It's just gum. Like, yes, they have those 2 teeth. But otherwise, I think they would just, like, gum you. And that would be it. I don't think it would hurt at all.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard for them to, like, get you by the arm or something, you know?
If their mouths have a strong grip, then maybe it would hurt. But we have no way of knowing that.
No way. Science has not advanced far enough.
We haven't made Goombas yet. But we probably will someday.
In terms of other Goombas, how about a Goomba stack?
Okay, so canonically, I mean, I think it depends on the game. For the 2D games, they're definitely more dangerous just because you have to jump a lot higher. There's a higher margin of error for you getting hit just because it isn't a full stack. Where the 3D Mario games, you can they're still dangerous, but you can also ground pound. Like, you can ground pound in a couple of the 2D Mario games, but for, I think, basically every 3D Mario, you can do this and just get them all at once if you really want. But I don't think they're that much more dangerous.
I think they probably belong in D tier canonically. However, in real life, this might be an A tier.
Okay, well, I don't know about an A tier, but...
They could go infinite high. Do you know, like...
Yeah.
At the end of, like, the first level, I think it was New Super Mario Bros. 2, there was, like, a stack of, like, 12 of them. And then you also have, like, in Mario Odyssey, you can pretty much stack these things infinitely. So I'm thinking a Goomba stack, there's no limit.
I mean, that is true, but they're still easy to hit. Like, you could literally just take a bat and just do this all day long, and you just knock it down slowly.
But they're still going to be moving towards you.
Yeah, but you just, like, walk backwards.
I feel like you might get a little lazy. You might do it a little mindlessly, and then they're going to get you, you know?
I
with their freaking gums.
It depends on the stack. If there's like a million stack, then yeah, that's pretty dangerous. But if it's like 10, that's not going to take that long to get rid of them.
How much do you think a Goomba would weigh in real life?
They got to be like 30 pounds. They can't be that heavy.
I mean, 30 pounds after a while, like...
It would get tiring.
I mean, like, whacking through 30 pounds of meat with a bat, that's going to get hard after, like, a little bit. And like, there's going to be some resistance there.
Well, I mean, it really depends on how tall the stack is. If it's not that tall, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal.
It's definitely going to be above these guys.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably say, like, a C tier. Just because, like, we don't know how tall the higher the stack, the harder it would be, like, obviously. I would say, like, a general stack of, like, maybe, like, 10 or 20 at the most, which is what you typically see in the games. I don't think it would be that hard to get rid of them.
Yeah. I think C makes sense. I think the Mario Galaxy ones, are these Octumbas?
Octawumba.
I think these are Octumbas.
Yeah, something like that.
I think in Mario Galaxy, I don't remember if there's a ton that's different with these things other than they shoot projectiles.
There's a blue and green one. The blue ones are static and the green ones move. I think that's the main difference.
When they return in 3D World, they have the gimmick of, like, you can't, when you jump on them, they don't die. You have to ground pound them.
These are definitely tougher.
Yeah, but and like they got the projectiles and stuff. I think canonically, I'd probably put them in the C range.
I think a C tier is fine because even the projectiles they shoot, it doesn't go very far, and it also takes them a while to actually shoot a projectile, so you'd have plenty of time to avoid it. It wouldn't be that hard to do.
Right. In real life, this is going to be kind of high up there, in my opinion. I think projectiles and harder to kill. And also, if you need a ground pound, that means I don't think you can do a regular bat with these things.
Probably need something a lot stronger.
Yeah, I think you need something stronger. And I don't know what that would be other than... Like, okay, let's think about ground pounds in real life. If you do a ground pound in real life, you're breaking your ass. It's not going to go well.
You could do, like, a flip and then land on your butt, I guess. But that
Are you going to do that?
I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying, theoretically, you could do it.
Theoretically. But I'm talking about us specifically. I don't think either one of us are going to do a damn flip to kill an Octumba in real life.
No.
And the projectiles, I think, automatically makes this stuff much harder, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would probably say like a B, maybe like a B tier for this one. Like, it's still definitely possible to kill it, but it would take a lot more effort.
It takes more effort to kill than the Sting Bee, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I would. Well, I think it depends too on which one. If it's a green one where it's like walking around, it's definitely gonna be a lot harder.
Let's do an average of, like, you know, the Octumbas in general.
Yeah.
I think walking around and stagnant ones, I think we might have an A tier. And they're from space, which is freaky.
Okay, I mean, A tier's, maybe it's a little high, but I could see it with the walking ones. If you include those, then yeah, I could see that.
How about Conkdors?
I didn't even notice that at first. This is maybe like another C tier. Like, they're typically not that hard to kill, especially if you have like a fireball or something. And then their attack is fairly slow, but they can be deadly in some circumstances.
They're one of those Mario enemies, if you don't have a power-up, you have to wait for them to attack themselves for you to kind of get an ability to hit them because they got that shell on their back.
Yeah, that's true.
If you have a fire flower or whatever, then, you know, it's pretty easy. You can just blast a fire flower at them.
Yeah, just jumping on them is a lot harder.
Yeah, but, like, other than that, they don't super pose a threat other than, like, a couple of specific instances. I mean, they don't walk around.
No, yeah, they're
you gotta
stationary,
walk past
and
them.
you do have to get close to them for them to even try to attack you. And even then, if you're just running, you'll avoid it. Like, it's not gonna just come down instantly. Like, it takes a second to build up its little stab move.
Well, then I'm wondering. I almost feel like then that might be a D tier then.
Maybe. I mean, they're a little hard to kill. It's just...
How often do you really need to kill them, though, outside of, like, getting, like,
Never.
a green star here and there?
I've only killed a couple of them. Yeah, that's about it.
In my time, yeah. I might put them in D tier. What do you think?
I would say D or C, but I think just for the fact that they're not much of a threat, we should probably leave it in D tier.
How about in real life?
Okay, this is a much different story.
Well, in real life, I almost feel like, what are they gonna do to pose a threat to me? It's very much like walking into a lion's den.
Yeah.
What the f*** are you doing that? Why are you getting close to the Conkdor?
That's true, yeah.
It's just like, the Conkdor's not gonna come to me, because the Conkdor don't move.
As long as you don't get close to it, you'll be fine. Yeah.
I honestly think, even though this thing does kind of is almost like a homing missile with its attack, it will kill me if I get close. But it's very similar to, like, yeah, a lion will kill me if it's close, but a lion does not pose a threat to me.
Right.
Because I'm not nearby a lion.
What if there's like a few of them near your house and you have to like get out of the driveway or something?
How are they gonna get there? I've never seen them walk.
What if they're just spawned there? Then what are you gonna do?
I'll walk away. I'll call the city. And I'll be like, why are there damn Conkdors in front of my house?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess that's true.
I guess that's true.
I mean, you could say that about all these enemies. Why would there be a Goomba in your house? Like, why would there be Goombas or Bitty Buds near your house?
Well,
Or,
Goomba,
like,
it
a
doesn't
Boo?
matter. They can walk.
Yeah, I guess.
The Bitty Buds move, but the Bitty Buds don't move outside of their own little formation.
Their little space. Yeah.
I think these belong in D or F.
Let's do
Not
D.
gonna lie.
I think D because if you do get near one, you're in trouble. It could probably just like stab right through your body, I would imagine.
That is true. But how often are you going to be in that position?
Yeah, I mean, probably never.
And also, all you need to do is have like pretty quick reflexes, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
Because like it's just gonna like come down, and it's not necessarily that quick. So I mean, like you just let it do its thing, and then you can kind of take a second to figure out what am I gonna do. Oh, an AR-15. So I think down there works. How about the virus from Dr. Mario?
When I saw this, I'm like, okay, I'm excited for the virus. Canonically, it's really not dangerous because you literally just take a pill to get rid of it. You just have to get a match of 3, and then it's gone.
Yeah, it's just if you're on level 20, though. If you're
Yeah.
on level 20 or something like that, that's pretty bad.
I guess if we're taking into account for the easiest and the hardest difficulties, then yeah, it gets really, really hard to get rid of them, which maybe makes this an S tier.
Canonically?
Maybe. Or like an A tier.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, but that's in packs, but it's also like, if there's like a million Goombas on screen, yeah, you're gonna die.
But you don't see that scenario with Goombas. You see that with viruses.
You could see that scenario with Goombas if you do like Mario Maker and you put a shit ton of Goombas on screen.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, but like level 20 in Dr. Mario? Come on.
You can easily
Like
do
that's
that.
kind of the same thing. Well, you decide. Like you can adjust the level at the start, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, in that case, it should be in C, right in the middle, because you get to choose how dangerous the virus is.
I mean, has there ever been an instance where we have seen what the virus does other than just sit there in a pill bottle?
It just kind of exists, yeah. We don't know what side effects it has on the body.
I think we're thinking a little ahead of ourselves with like, oh, the virus, yeah, that'll kill you. I think canonically they're an F tier. They don't
F
do
tier.
anything.
I mean,
You just want
yes,
to kill them.
They don't
Your
do
entire
anything.
thing is that you want to kill them. What are they doing? They just are sitting there.
Well, we don't know. I mean, maybe these are like cancer viruses in game, and it's just never said.
Well, that's just the thing. We don't know.
Yeah,
and
we have no
they're never
idea.
going to say Dr. Mario is on a fight against cancer.
Okay, I guess that's true, but like the point of Dr. Mario is to get rid of
No.
the viruses.
Chill fever. That's what they're about.
Chill and fever.
They should make a new Dr. Mario where one of the music songs is called Cancer. Like, I think some of the things are like fever, chill. What are the other ones they added?
Dr. Mario 64 has QQ, but that's just a random song name.
I kind of want to see. It's Online RX has like sniffles or something. I don't. I forget.
Okay, but
what is it called?
That's actually a good point though. Maybe the viruses only give you a fever and a chill. and that's it. That's all it's implied, at least. And if that's the case, canonically and in real life, it's really not that dangerous.
Canonically, oh my god, I want to find this so bad. This is gonna kill me. What were the other? There it is. Okay, it was in Dr. Mario Online RX. You had fever, chill, cough, sneeze.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not that bad.
Yeah, none of these are like. I mean, a fever could be dangerous.
If
Chills
you're like really
and a fever
old,
can be
sure.
very dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think these are like you're just not. You're feeling under the weather. I don't think these are necessarily lethal diseases.
I guess based off that implication, you could argue that it's really not that dangerous, especially if you're not like 85 years old in the game canonically or something like that.
I don't think they're actually that dangerous. I'm on team F tier for the virus canonically.
Okay, you've convinced me, because I was thinking about it completely. I was thinking about just the gameplay itself. It had nothing to do with the virus.
Yeah, I think canonically they are like you have a cold. I don't think it's like you're gonna die.
Okay, fair enough.
And I think overall you pose more of a threat than the viruses do, because guess what happens when you use too many pills?
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, when you get to the top, that means you pretty much OD'd.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Dude, I'm thinking so outside the box with these damn Dr. Mario things. All right, yeah.
Okay.
F tier, canonical. Real life, S tier.
Okay, no. If we're taking the same implications from the game that this virus only gives you those mild symptoms outside of a fever, that's not S tier. That is like D tier at the worst. It's not that bad.
Well, I mean, like a fever can be really bad if you don't treat them.
They can be, but usually you can treat them.
I think then that belongs in the middle.
I would argue D tier, but I guess if it's a really bad fever, if you have like a really bad flu or something, then sure, it could be a C, but these sound like D tier symptoms to me.
I think the virus has a higher chance of killing you than a bully does, than a Conkdor does, than a Galoomba does, any of that.
Maybe it's a high D tier.
I think it's one of those things. I think more people die from a fever than people die from like shark attacks or something, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, again, it depends on age, right? If you are really old, it is easy to die from like a fever.
How many people die from bee stings a year?
Oh, probably like 100. It can't be a lot.
CDC.gov. During 2011 to 2021, 788 deaths from hornet, wasp, and bee stings. An average of 72 deaths per year. How many people die from a fever a year?
Oh my God, this is not even this close to this. You can't make this comparison. These do not correlate at all.
The World Health Organization at 2019 estimates, there are 9 million cases of typhoid fever annually, resulting in about 110,000 deaths per year.
That did not say typhoid fever. It said regular fever.
That's going to be in the next Dr. Mario game.
Oh my God.
They're going to call fever the typhoid fever. I would put him on the same level as the sting bee.
Okay, I guess so.
In real life,
I suppose.
Where would you put him?
It would still be like a D tier. Like, yes, a lot of people die from the fever, but there's also a lot of like elderly people. Then there's like, you're not gonna die from bee stings as often because people know to stay away from bees. You can't avoid the fever. Everyone gets sick at some point. You can't avoid them.
Yeah, you can't avoid the fever. You can't avoid the bee.
Right.
So you can't avoid the Dr. Mario virus. And if you don't treat it properly...
No, but it's not... Fevers do not typically kill you unless you're a lot older, or if it's a kind of fever that's more deadly.
Neither do bees!
Oh my God.
Bees don't normally kill you.
Fine, let's just leave it in B tier. That's fine. Let's just do it.
Yeah, cool. Birdo. How about Birdo?
Wow, that's so different. Okay, Birdo. This is like an A tier.
Canonically?
Maybe a B, but I would probably say A, because like, Birdo can walk around, can throw eggs, sometimes throws fireballs too, which you can't even touch. So
I think around A to B.
Yeah.
Around there. I think in the later stages, Birdo definitely gets kind of tricky.
Yeah, like the last world of Mario Bros. 2, Birdo is hard. Well, the thing is, it's not even just that Birdo gets trickier to avoid, but she throws like mostly fireballs instead of eggs, so you just have to avoid stuff most of the time. So yeah, I would probably say like A tier is good.
All right, yeah. Real life, though.
Real life. Okay, this is like an A or an S. This would be pretty hard to take out a Birdo.
Birdo has something that a lot of these enemies don't have, and I think Birdo has the will to do whatever Birdo wants. Birdo appears in all, like, you know, like Birdo can walk around, do whatever she wants, whatever. So I think Birdo has free will. Birdo can shoot eggs, which can hurt, and fireballs, which can be deadly.
I think you can only attack her with the eggs themselves, which I guess in real life you could use anything, but...
You could just use other eggs. Could you use other eggs?
Yeah, you could just go to your local grocery store and throw eggs at her, and that would kill her.
I think they need to be like ostrich-sized eggs.
Maybe.
Personally. I think that's the key ticket here. I don't think a regular chicken egg would work.
Do ostrich eggs really have that hard of a shell? Because when you throw them back, the egg doesn't open. It just, like, clonks her, and that's it.
I forget if ostrich eggs are like that. I think some eggs are pretty damn
Some of them are. I don't remember if ostrich ones are.
I think
either.
you need, like, a coconut consistency.
Yeah, no, I could see throwing, like, a coconut at her. That would definitely do some damage.
I think the sun is in its own realm. I think the sun is meant to be, like we can't take on fucking the solar system.
Yes, of course.
I think Birdo is around Octumba.
I would say, like, definitely a higher A tier, because still the fact that she can just spit out fireballs and, like, you can't do anything except avoid them. I mean, that's pretty dangerous. It's very, very dangerous.
I think Birdo's an easy A. Bob-ombs.
Okay, canonically, probably a B tier.
They're pretty basic, but, like, they still definitely pack a punch. I think B tier makes sense.
Again, this also depends on the game, because sometimes the explosion isn't too large, but sometimes it is. So it just kind of depends, but yeah, probably like a B tier.
Depends, B tier. Real life, I think A tier.
Yeah, this is an A, easily. It's a bomb. So yeah, it's an
a bomb
tier.
that walks around. If you kick it, then it removes the legs, and then it's just there. But then you have to deal with a bomb fairly close in proximity to you.
At least it gives you the courtesy of blinking red, letting you know, hey, I'm about to explode. So you have some time to run away, but probably not a lot.
I kind of want to go through the Thwomp family.
Oh, the Thwomp. Thwomp.
Yeah, we got Thwomp, Thwimp, and Whomps.
And they all work a little bit differently, too.
Yeah, so a regular Thwomp, I think, can be pretty tricky in Mario games. I think a Thwomp probably belongs in B tier. It's definitely higher than a Conkdor. It's kind of weird to think about, but a Conkdor and a Thwomp are kind of similar.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
They don't really move. Some Thwomps move, I think, actually. Like,
they either move sideways or up and down, but that's it.
Yeah.
Those are the only directions.
Yeah, so it's just like, if you don't come in its way, then you don't have to deal with it. But a Conkdor you can kill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a Thwomp, not even with a superstar, right? I don't think you can't kill them.
Maybe with stars? I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but for the most part, they're pretty impenetrable. Now, in real life,
I would say maybe a C tier.
You can't kick their ass, though.
That's true. You can't kick their ass, but this is kind of the same argument as the Conkdor, where you can't really kick their ass either, but you can also just avoid them, and they will never bother you ever.
Well, I think the thing is you can kick a Conkdor's ass. It's mostly on, like, them posing a threat to you.
I guess.
A Conkdor doesn't really pose much of a threat because you got to go in their way. But if you do go in their way, you can kill them. A Thwomp is very similar, where you have to go out of your way to run into them, but you can't kill them. Like, it's like, so it's kind of tricky. So
yeah,
I would honestly put it, like, above the Conkdor, but I don't know where it goes then.
But is it really kicking your ass if it's not trying to bother you? Like, it's really not a threat. And the reason I'd even argue it's maybe a little bit higher than Conkdor is because if you do get close to it and it goes down, it's going to destroy some of the ground underneath it, which could cause a lot of damage to, like, I guess anything, really. Like, it breaks through boxes and stuff and concrete.
It's tricky, man. I think, well, where would they pop up in real life?
Construction sites. Yeah, castles.
Construction sites. Well, either way, construction sites are kind of dangerous to be at.
That's true. They are.
And well, one way, what if you have a hard hat? Because in Mario Maker, if you have the spike the spike helmet, that can actually avoid them.
If your neck is as strong as steel, then I guess you'd be okay. I feel like most people, though, even with a hard hat, they'd still get Still get squished.
So where are you thinking?
You know what? Let's go B tier. This is such a weird one because, like, obviously you can't kick its ass, but why would you ever need to go near one? And what is the odds of you even ever finding one? I feel like it'd be incredibly small.
Well, they're in castles in Mario, so potentially they'd be.
I guess they could be in castles, but like, how often do you go to a castle in real life? Like, basically never.
I mean, what's the equivalent of a Bowser castle from the Mario world in the real world?
I think of like just going to Europe and going into castles there.
Yeah, a European castle. Yeah, so there you're gonna get absolutely killed. Because keep in mind, a Thwomp is pretty much that's instant death.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not like, oh, that hurts. Because pretty much all of these enemies have been so far like, oh, they'll hurt you. The Thwomp is instant death.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
But the Thwomp
is not.
The Thwomp is not instant death. The Thwomp is not a very intimidating enemy. It's kind of just like a Thwomp with some extra funkiness to it. The fact that it usually goes in like an arc pattern and all that.
You do still take damage if you touch it, but it's not that dangerous.
I think it might be a D or an F, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because the arc makes it pretty easy to avoid, but I think D, maybe.
I think because you still can't kill them, probably a D tier.
Now, in real life, I think it might be a C.
I think a C is fine.
I think the arc makes it harder to avoid. In real life, imagine if this thing is like arcing on top of you. Like in a 2D setting, when you're looking at things, it's dead on, third person, from a 2D perspective in these Mario games. Yeah, it's easy to avoid. But like if you're looking at something that's like arcing back and forth, that's a little harder to avoid. But then again, it's kind of just like rocks flying around. Like I think this thing would kind of hurt you in the same way that a nice sized rock would. It could really hurt you if it hits you in the head.
I think at the worst you get like a concussion.
Yeah, or I think it would give you a very nasty bruise on your shoulder. But
yeah.
Either way, I think they'd be harder to avoid than a Thwomp. But I think they'd just be a rock. Then again, I'm kind of like, okay, C or a D then.
It's a spiky rock, so
that is true.
Maybe a C tier.
Whomp.
Okay, Whomp. Well, these are, I would say A tier, just because it's the same thing as a Thwomp, but they can walk around. Granted, they are a little bit slower, but
I don't think they're that threatening canonically.
Oh, you know what? I honestly just kind of forgot you can kill them. So maybe it's like a C tier.
Yeah,
because they're slow. And yeah, you can kill them.
They're more intimidating than a Thwomp, but I think a Thwomp is actually more dangerous.
Because you can't kill it. Okay, I think C's fine. Yeah.
They're kind of similar to a bully in that way.
Yeah.
But I think in real life, yeah, I think A tier.
This is an A tier easily. Yep.
Yeah.
It's just a walking stone slab that can just squish you if it doesn't like you.
And the only way to kill it if it's already fallen on top of you is to whatever.
You have to ground pound its back.
Yeah, you got to ground pound it. I'm sorry. In real life, ground pounding a big old fucking piece of sidewalk
sounds like a really bad idea.
I don't think you're gonna kill this thing.
Probably not.
I think you and a fucking army could get it. I think you need a tank, honestly. Okay. If you need a tank, would that be an S tier?
Maybe.
I think it would be an S tier at that point. These things are massive. I think this would be a national threat if these things existed. A Bob-omb? A Bob-omb is on the same tier as this? I don't.
You know, that's a good point.
I think you could kill Birdo by yourself with your own hands. It would be hard because they're definitely like... I think Birdo would attack you. I think the way Birdo would hurt you would be in the same way like a mixed martial artist would attack you. Like, it's very unpredictable. I don't know what to do. I think a Whomp is a national emergency. I think everything to this point is a little too... Like, you know, you could probably take him on. I don't know.
It's not on the same tier as the Sun, but I still think it deserves S tier. Just because, yeah, it would be extremely difficult to get rid of one of these things.
Yeah. I think you would need missiles.
Finally get to use the nuke.
How about Shy Guys? The funny thing is, Shy Guys aren't really in 2D Mario games. They were in Mario 2, and they're mostly a Yoshi's Island enemy, which is weird.
Yeah. I mean, we're not kind of like the one when they're on like on stilts or stuff. It's just regular Shy Guys, I'm assuming.
You can include the stilt guys in that in the talk. You know, kind of the different variants. Maybe even Sniffets. I don't know. You know,
Sniffets.
I only put Shy Guys here, so you know you can include a couple of the variants. Even Fly Guys, if you really want to.
Ooh, okay.
They can take on many forms.
I think it bumps it up to C tier just because they're very versatile. I don't think they're all that threatening. canonically, but just the fact there's so many different versions of them, you have to really... Sometimes you have to think about what you're doing, more so than just jump and squish.
I think how they acted in the original Yoshi's Island, they would be below, honestly, Goombas. In that game, they're kind of more so just fodder for ammunition.
They just kind of exist, kind of like Bitty Buds.
They also don't really do much. They jump out of the pipe. They go hee how, you know, and then they don't even do anything after they kind of just like step around a little bit, and that's it.
Yeah.
A Goomba's always going forward, and that is threatening. No matter how you slice it, it is threatening. The Shy Guys, they don't really do anything. They are, in fact, Shy Guys.
It's just a Shy Guy. It's like an F. But yeah, all the variants, I think, bumps it up to like at least a D, but maybe a C tier.
Okay, let's think about it. The Stilts kind of put them in the same realm as like the Galoombas.
The Goomba stack?
Yeah, kind of like a Goomba stack or a Galoomba, where it's like you hit them once and then you got to hit them again. That's kind of about it. I think you put them in D.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Now, in real life, I think you could kill them pretty easily, but I also think they're just kind of creepy. So, you know, that might be something. I don't know.
If we're including all the variants, it might fly around, and the Fly Guys are pretty fast. Keep that in mind. And then the Sniffets shoot pretty quickly as well. So, yeah, probably not hard to kill, but they definitely can be dangerous.
I think what they usually do, they don't really have many attacks. I think they would be more so annoying and weird in real life rather than threatening.
Regular Shy Guys would just kind of, yeah, they wouldn't really do much.
I think I'd put them in D. I think they're kind of Galoomba Goomba worthy in real life.
Okay.
I don't know. What would you think? What do you think?
I mean, again, just like with all the variants, it probably like a C tier. But if we're just talking regular Shy Guy, then definitely just like a D tier.
What would they do to attack you in real life?
Well, with the Sniffet, I mean, they can shoot those like little black balls at you.
Yeah, but what would those black balls do? Like, is that like a BB
I don't
gun?
know.
Are those like BB pellets?
Yeah, it's probably like a BB gun.
I don't think it's an actual bullet or anything. I think it would just be like, it would hit you and you'd be like, ow, like it might welt. That's about it.
Well, you know what? Let's just go D tier because those aren't even that common. If you're going to run into a Shy Guy, it's probably just a regular Shy Guy.
Yeah. And then like what? If they're on stilts, who cares?
Just like knock them off the stilts. Yeah.
Yeah, what a freaking square. Like get off of those things and fight me like a man. I don't know. So I don't think that matters. All right. Bloopers. Bloopers are pretty much like, they can be kind of tricky in the water, but they are very much like a Koopa Troopa or a Goomba or something. They have, you know, a range all across the screen, and their pattern can be a little unpredictable at times.
They're not that hard to avoid, though. I mean, you can also take them out with fireballs. So, I mean, it's a little bit harder than just, you know, doing that on land, but I don't think they're really that much of a threat.
I think D or F, honestly.
I'd probably say D tier.
I don't know, man. I feel like actually C tier. I mean, compared to a Sting Bee. What does a Sting Bee do? You know? And also, some of the bloopers have baby bloopers that I'll follow them, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking of. But, I mean, I've never really found it that hard to avoid them.
But, like, would you say a blooper is as hard as a Goomba stack or a Galoomba or a Peepa?
It's not as hard as a Whomp.
Yeah.
A Whomp is much more threatening than a blooper.
All right, so what? Then where does the Shy... like, I feel like Shy Guy might belong in F tier then.
Okay, let's put it in F.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, yeah. All right. That makes more sense for me. Now, in real life, I feel like this is an F tier. I think you just put some freaking bleach in the ocean or something, or in the water tank they're in, and they're just dead.
Yeah, there's no threat whatsoever. You would have to purposefully try to get hurt by it, I think. Like, yeah, there's like a million ways you could kill these things in real life.
It's kind of like shark attacks, you know? And even then, I wouldn't put a blooper in the same realm as a shark. Like, I'm like,
exactly.
Out of the water, I could kick its ass. I just pour some freaking rat poison in there, and that thing is done. And as well as all the other water Mario enemies in real life that I'd have to deal with. And also in real life, I could use a fishing pole. I could use a spear. And I think that thing is done. I don't think I'd have to worry much. And I don't think Cheeps jump out of the water, but bloopers don't, right?
No. Bloopers stay in the water the whole time.
Yeah. Now, if we're using Mario Kart rules, they just ink all over you, but like that doesn't even hurt you.
It's just annoying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're more annoying, and also I could flush them down the toilet. I don't even know. There's all kinds of things.
You could probably pour salt on them. Yeah. Like a slug or something.
Dry bones.
Canonically, so dry bones are interesting. They're easy to kill, but you also can't really kill them because they just come back unless you use
the only time you use star or an ice flower. I would honestly put them in B tier canonically because they're kind of similar to. I mean, like I'd put them on the same level as booze.
Yeah, I would. I could definitely see that.
There's a reason why they only really appear in the castle levels, which are meant to kind of test your strength up to that point. And
right.
You know, at the very least, I think we kind of put booze in B tier because you can't regularly kill them. And dry bones are kind of similar. You can't normally kill them. Yes, they're easy to dispose of at that moment, but the entire thing is like, oh, well, they'll come back. Now, in real life, though...
This honestly might be an S. How do you get rid of this? It's a skeleton that keeps coming back to life.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I don't really know if we have, like, a ton of options at our disposal in terms of weaponry that would take care of them, other than freezing them.
We could freeze them.
Yeah, okay. So you get a bucket, fill it with water, put the bones in there. But then again, there's not really as many instant freezing options. Like, yeah, we could try to freeze them, but they're gonna come back together too soon. We don't have ice powers like Mario does.
You literally have like 5 seconds. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, even if you tried to like separate the bones after killing it, like it would just come back together regardless. Like, there's not much you could really do. You would have to be like in a really cold area like suburbia or Antarctica or something to actually get rid of these things. Because at least then, if you kill a dry bones, you could just like throw their snows or you can like take their bones and just like chuck them into the snow, and maybe that would stop them, I guess.
I think no matter what, as far as the bones go away, like as far as the bones are like apart from each other, I think they're gonna come back. You know, and I think they have to literally be in a block of ice. And even then you have to get the block of ice, and then you have to destroy the ice. You gotta freeze them, and then you have to destroy it.
That's a lot. Can you use dry ice? That's not fast enough, though. That would be fast enough.
Yeah, because they come back to life after like 10 seconds.
I mean, you would have to be in an environment that is so cold that ice freezes immediately. That's the only way to kill them.
I think potentially you could incinerate them. Like, if you put them... If you cremate... I think you could cremate them.
Maybe I could see
I know the fire flower doesn't affect them, but that's just one little bit of fireball. You know? Like, I think at extreme heat and fire, I think you would burn them, and I think they could die from that. But then again, I don't know.
You have to throw them into the angry sun. It's the only way.
Yeah, I think A or S, honestly.
I would actually honestly argue S. I don't know a solution to get rid of them. Like, yeah, sure, you can kick its ass, but you got to do it for forever. There is no permanent ass kicking.
Well, how about a regular Koopa Troopa then? I think Koopa Troopa probably F or D normally. I think D just because they are a step above Goombas.
I'd probably just say a D just because you can't, when you hit the shell, you can hit yourself with it by accident.
Yep.
Cause damage. Yeah, probably just a D for that.
But, you know, it is nice because then it's just like, you know, you kill them. Also, like, yeah, you kill them and then they go into their shell. You can't hurt yourself with the shell. And even then, you have to use that shell pretty quickly in some games, or else they come out of the shell. So, yeah, I think D. In real life, okay, big-ass turtle. Where does this go?
I'm just trying to think, like, where you find these things. You probably find them at, like, a beach. So...
Yeah. Well, I mean, like in Mario, they're all around. You know, they're in the grasslands, they're in the beach, they're in the desert, they're in the snow world. You know, like they find their way around.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think it would depend on the environment you're in. Because if you are at a beach and you take one out, you could take its shell and just throw it into the water, and you'll never see it again. If you're like in an ocean or something.
Yeah.
But if you're in like a city or something and you take out a Koopa and throw the shell, it could easily bounce around the buildings, potentially destroy them if the shell's strong enough, or hit you back.
Yeah, it would definitely hurt, I think.
It wouldn't like kill you, but it would hurt.
It would really hurt. And also, I think the only way you can really dispose of, let's say if they come into your contact, I think the only way you can really dispose of them is potentially kicking them into another Koopa Troopa.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, other than that, the shell is just... Because, like, in real life, if you kick that shell, that thing is just going to go... It's going to hurt somebody else. Like, that's a little dangerous.
You could, like, get it in a secluded place, like a big, like, trash can or, like, a dump truck or something. Then it just bounces around for forever.
Well, then that's illegal dumping.
Illegal dumping.
Yeah. You can't do that. Because, like, imagine, you know... Listen... If you go to a dumpster and you fucking take that Koopa shell and just ricochet it off of the dumpster walls like just for a long time, for pretty much infinite amount of time, that's annoying somebody, and that's gonna hurt somebody eventually. Because other people
That's a good point.
And also when people throw away other trash in there, that other trash is gonna ricochet into the Koopa shell, and then that Koopa shell is gonna stop ricocheting.
But you also don't have to throw the shell. You could just, like, stomp on the Koopa. But, well, that's the thing. If you do that and you don't throw it, the Koopa just comes back out.
And the shell is kind of
have to
impenetrable in most instances. It's pretty tough. That's a tough shell.
It breaks from, like, stars. It does break from fire, though, from fireballs. So you could throw it into an inferno or something.
That is
Same
true.
with the dry bones.
I think C or B in real life. I don't think they're that threatening, but I think they're so fucking annoying to get rid of.
Yeah, I would say like a C is pretty good.
Yeah, like I think you could kill it pretty easily. But that shell, man. The
shell is so obnoxious.
Yeah. All right. Hammer Brothers.
Ooh, a Hammer Bro. Okay, well, canonically, this is like an A tier.
Yeah, I think this is one of the toughest regular Mario enemies. I mean, like, in the later games, they're pretty easy.
The old games, they're really hard.
In the original Super Mario Brothers might be S tier. I would honestly say, even just considering Mario 1, I would put them in S tier. Because the Angry Sun is, I mean, it's kind of easy comparatively to the Mario 1 Hammer Brothers.
Yeah, the Mario 1 Hammer Bros, you kind of have to get a little lucky when it comes to trying to kill them.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to hope that when you try to jump on them, they're not about to throw a hammer. So you can't hit them from below, but like also that's really it's very circumstantial. So I think S or A.
I think S would be fun since we don't have an S tier for Canonical yet. And this is just considering Mario 1 Hammer Brothers, which are pretty damn tricky. Some of the hardest Mario enemies. Now, in real life...
Yeah, real life. Oof.
I think somebody's throwing fucking infinite hammers at you on top of them being a turtle.
I don't want to kick his ass. I just want to put him in jail.
Yeah, I think they'd get arrested far before I would have to kick their ass.
Exactly. They're just being a public nuisance, throwing hammers everywhere.
Yeah, and that would be incredibly dangerous. I think they would kill me before I would have a chance to kill them, to be honest.
Yeah, imagine someone throwing hammers at you. I mean, to be fair, I don't know how accurate. Well, these are Hammer Bros. They are accurate. So, yeah, that actually could kill you pretty easily. Maybe this is an A tier.
I think A tier because I think while they do throw hammers, I think they're also weak to that stuff too. It's weird. They don't go into their shell like Koopa Troopas do. Like when you just hit them, you hit them and they're dead. So that tells me they're pretty weak overall, but they pack a lot of punch.
They're just so strong.
It's kind of just like a very weak guy with an AR-15, which is like me in this scenario. Because I would be a very weak man with an AR-15. So it's just, you just fight fire with fire at that point.
So you're just a Hammer Bro, basically, is what you're saying.
That's awesome. Make a t-shirt. Aren't we all just Hammer Bros, man? That would be epic. I think A tier. Lakitu.
A Lakitu, canonically, depends on the game. A little bit harder in the first game, but it's really not that hard to avoid the spinies.
Yeah, in the later games, I mean, you can take over his cloud, which is cool.
Yeah, maybe just because the older games are so much harder, this could push it to an A tier, but I think B would also be okay.
I think B would be good because, yes, he is harder in, like, Mario 1. At the same time, under most circumstances where Lakitu appears, it's kind of just like, just keep running. It's a stage where it's like, you just got to keep running. Hammer Brothers, you can't keep running. You got to get that timing right. Lakitu isn't really about timing. True. It's more about just like a speed run. So I think B tier makes sense. Then again, I think Lakitu is kind of more comparable to Birdo than like a Dry Bones.
Yeah, but the fact that you can take the cloud, I think just makes them, you can literally take the main thing that makes them a challenge. You can just steal it. You can't steal Birdo's eggs.
Well, I mean, technically you can.
Well, yes. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay. I think B makes sense. How about in real life?
This is an A. I think a solid, very solid A tier.
Yeah, somebody throwing shit from the skies.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just like big spiky rocks coming in from the skies. Not very often, but it happens sometimes, and they're really... I don't know how you get rid of a Lakitu in real life without, like, sniping it. That's what you'd have to do.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta snipe him.
Yeah, it's the only way.
Or they need to get the Air Force in. Or if he swoops down, sometimes he swoops down.
But that's pretty... Think about how fast that is. You really think you'd have enough time to jump onto it while it's coming down? Like, I don't know. I don't think I could do that.
I mean, like, you could just, like, take a bat again. A bat can kind of combat all
Oh,
of
that's
these enemies.
true. And then he can take its cloud and
It's just
fly.
waiting for, like, a baseball at that point. And you just, like, as he swoops down.
Actually, that's a really good point. You take... Or no, when he's throwing the spinies, you just take a bat and you swing it back at him. It'd be hard to do, but you could do it.
Well, the thing is, if you don't kill him, he's going to follow you. All throughout the level. All throughout the day, pretty much.
He follows you for forever, yeah.
He might be S tier in real life.
Maybe. I guess it would depend how strong the spinies are in real life. If they can cause actual, like, damage to you, if you hit them, then, yeah, that's an S tier.
You know the theory or the thing of, like, oh, if you drop a penny from, like, a super high building, it could, like, literally split somebody in half by the time it gets down?
Right, yeah.
Imagine throwing a turtle with spikes on his back off of, like, the Empire State Building. That's gonna kill somebody.
Lakitu is what? Maybe 50 feet tall? Or not 50, like, he'll go
What
like 50
the
feet into the... No.
Yeah.
50 feet into the air. Like,
Yeah.
he's not going thousands of feet into the air. It's like maybe 50 feet. That's about it.
Imagine throwing a bat 50 feet off of the ground and it falls on your head. I think that could kill you.
It could kill you, yeah.
So imagine a turtle with spikes getting thrown at you from that height. I think that could impale you in the head and just die. I don't know.
The only reason I would argue an A tier is just because, like, you can actually take it out, whereas the Dry Bones, Whomp, and Angry Sun, you're not doing anything against those things. At least with the Lakitu, you can use a bat or a sniper or something.
That is true. These things are, like, impenetrable. You can't do any... All right, I think A makes sense. All right, Pokeys.
Depends if you have a fireball, because if you do, they're pretty easy. If not, they're a pain in the butt.
I think I would probably put them... They're very similar to Goomba stacks overall, but they're not killable without a power-up or Yoshi.
Maybe a C tier.
Yeah, because, again, they're just kind of, like, there. Like, they're not... They don't follow you, so...
They can, but they can only go so far. It's like, it's not really threatening. Like, they can't jump or anything, so...
Yeah, I think C makes sense. Now, in real life, I feel like these things are only going to appear in deserts, and I feel like it would be almost like if a cactus was alive and very slow.
Which could be dangerous, theoretically, but you could take it on.
I think if you had an axe, you could just chop away at him, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I think he'd be pretty simple. I think in real life, all you'd have to worry about... Honestly, I think all you'd have to worry about are the few spikes on him. And he's not going to do anything. It's just kind of like if you run into it. It's like a cactus. Like, if you just touch a cactus, you're not going to get hurt. It depends on if you touch the spikes or the thorns, you know?
And there's not as many thorns on this.
No. So, I think... I honestly think a Pokey might be F tier. I think I could literally wipe the floor with him. Because, like, think about it. It's kind of like a Conkdor at that point. They're pretty stagnant. They're only really in the area that they're in. And, you know, I mean, if you run into them, what are they going to do?
They'll chase you slowly. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't think they'd even kill you. I think we could kill them
probably not.
before they kill me.
I think F is fine just because there's not a lot of thorns. If it was more thorny, maybe you could argue a D tier. But no, I think F is totally fine.
Monty Moles.
Okay, canonically, probably they're not that threatening. They don't do much.
Well, they're fast. They jump out.
Fast.
They can surprise you. I mean, they're easy. You can just, you know, stomp on them.
I would probably say a D tier, honestly. I would say D. They're just not that threatening. Like, the most threatening thing that happens is, like, in Mario 64, they technically can't die in that game, and they throw little pebbles, but they're also really not much of a nuisance. They just like, they're just kind of there.
Yeah, but in real life, moles are a huge nuisance.
Yes.
You know, they screw up everybody's yard. How big would they be? Would they be about as big as, like, a dog? Or, like, mole size?
They seem to be I mean, based off of the games, they're probably like 2 feet tall, 2.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
So maybe a little, about the size of a dog.
They don't really do anything other than like, I think the fact because moles are kind of blind, so like I think they, they jump up and they scurry around and stuff. I think that's all they're really gonna do. I don't think they're really gonna hurt you much.
They're just kind of annoying.
Yeah, I think if you'd have to kick their ass, I think you'd have to set up traps, or you'd have to like, you have to aim very well. So, yeah. I think F or D.
I think F, honestly. Like, yeah, they're a nuisance, but they're pretty easy to take care of. Pretty easy to kick their ass.
That is true. That is damn true. For our final ones, though, I got a bullet bill and a bomber bill.
Well, canonically, they're really not that dangerous. Like, maybe in the original games, because they're faster, they're a bit more deadly. But in this game, or I mean, in the more modern games, they're so slow. Like, even the big ones are pretty slow.
I mean, like, even in, like, Mario World, he's just big. And like, you can avoid him very well. Especially if you don't even have a power-up, which is when you're at your weakest point. But in Super Mario World, when these appear on screen, small Mario is small enough to just run right under it. You don't have to do anything. And like pretty much he's just really big. He's just a big bullet bill. That's all he is. I would say C, maybe.
I'd say C or D. Like maybe just for the sheer size, like a C would work. But
the size honestly makes him like a huge target. It's almost impossible to get hit by him sometimes. Like it's just like there's no way you're gonna miss him. So it's kind of like, I don't know, because I think bullet bills travel more in packs. There's so many times where there's many more bullet bills on screen, and that's kind of harder to avoid.
Harder than a bonsai bill, yeah.
I would honestly say, I don't know. What do you think canonically for these two?
Probably put them in the same tier. Like I could definitely argue bullet bills are more threatening if they're in groups, but at the same time, they still move relatively slowly unless you're playing like the original, if you're playing like Mario 1 or Mario 3, where they actually fly out of the cannons.
I think they both belong in C.
I think so too. Yeah, they should be paired together.
Now in real life, how about this? Bullet bill, A, bomber bill, bonsai bill, S tier.
When they run into stuff, I'm assuming they just keep going. If that's the case, yeah, these things are deadly as hell.
Yeah, no, a bomber bill is like a nuke. It's literally going to kill everybody.
Yeah, basically that's an S.
And then a bullet bill, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's literally like trying to fight a bullet with a bullet. Like I'm just like, what are we gonna do? What am I gonna do to stop this?
You can jump on it because they're slow, I guess, but I don't think that's gonna work in real life.
I mean, a bullet bill, would you equate that to like a slow gun, a gun underwater?
I guess, yeah.
That's still pretty deadly. A tier, S tier for bomber bill, which is kind of funny. We're putting like a literal nuke next to a skeleton.
It's not just a skeleton. It's a skeleton that just keeps coming back.
Oh, damn. Couldn't say it better myself.